You know that feeling when you walk into the living room and catch your dog snoozing in the absolute weirdest, most twisted position imaginable? You probably just chuckle, snap a quick photo for your friends, and walk away, right? Well, in this explainer, we're going to show you the fascinating catch to all of this. Your dog is actually communicating with you while they snooze. Those goofy sleeping poses, they aren't just random acrobatics. They are literally hidden messages about their personality, their daily stress levels, and, incredibly, even their physical health. So, think about it for a second. When you look at that twisted pose, are you seeing pure bliss? Or are you maybe missing a silent plea for help? They are speaking this beautifully complex language right under our noses. Most of us have no idea that these hilarious naps are just packed with hidden meaning. You might think your dog is just being a complete goofball, but they're actually revealing a massive amount about their inner world. Today, I'm going to be your translator. We'll decode their secret sleep language, look at some wild survival instincts, explore how they bond, and most importantly, we'll go over the hidden sleep rituals that act as urgent health warnings. All right, let's jump right into part one, the secret sleep language. What exactly are they trying to tell you? Okay, we absolutely have to start with the belly up, or as it's affectionately known, the dead cockroach. You know the one. This is when your dog lies completely flat on their back with their paws sticking straight up in the air at just bizarre angles. As ridiculous and uncomfortable as this upside-down routine looks, it's actually the ultimate compliment to you as an owner. See, in the wild, leaving the belly exposed is incredibly dangerous because it leaves all their vital organs entirely vulnerable to an attack. So, if your pet sleeps on its back, it means they fully trust you and feel incredibly secure in your home. It also shows they've got an independent, calm, and confident personality. But wait, there's actually some super practical biology going on here too. Aside from showing immense trust, dogs sweat through their paws, right? And their belly has the least amount of fur on their entire body. So exposing that tummy to the open air is actually the fastest way for a hot dog to beat the heat and quickly cool down. Moving on to part two, vulnerability and survival instincts, bringing the wild right into your living room. So let's look at a complete 180 here. On one side, you've got the wide open, cooling trust of the belly up. And on the exact opposite end of the spectrum, the tightly coiled, deeply ingrained protective instinct of the snowball, or as some people call it, the donut. In the snowball pose, your dog curls up into a tight little ball, tucking their paws away and resting their nose right near their tail. It looks like an adorable fuzzy bagel, right? Well, it actually has a deeply ingrained survival instinct behind it. Subconsciously, they are protecting their vulnerable inner organs, their paws, and their throat. It's also the absolute most common position for wild animals trying to conserve body heat during cold weather. If your dog does this in the winter, they are just trying to stay toasty. But and this is key, if they're doing this year-round, it actually indicates insecurity or apprehension. You'll often see this in newly adopted dogs or strays getting used to a new environment. If your pup is a permanent snowball, it might be time to invest in a heated pet mat or a really cozy blanket so they can finally feel safe. Which brings us to part three, deep sleep and high alert. We're talking REM cycles versus guarding. Let's compare two totally different states of rest here. The side sleeper, or pancake, versus the sphinx, which is sometimes called lion's pose. In the pancake, the dog lies completely flat on their side. Their muscles are entirely relaxed. This is the most restorative sleep, allowing them to reach the deepest, healing stages of REM sleep. This is when you're going to see those paws twitching because they're acting out their dreams, maybe chasing a squirrel, who knows. It means they feel totally safe. Now compare that to the sphinx. The head rests on top of the front paws. Here, the muscles are still somewhat tense, which actually prevents deep sleep. They're basically just resting their eyes but remaining on high alert. This is a guarding position. They are ready to jump up quickly, and you'll often see them doing this right by the front door as they watch over their pack. And then, of course, we have the internet-famous sploot, or the Superman pose. The dog is sprawled out with their belly pressed firmly to the floor, front legs stretched forward, and back legs stretched all the way behind them. You see this constantly with high-energy puppies. It means they are totally exhausted but want to be ready for action at a moment's notice. It is literally a readiness to hop up and play instantly. Plus, it's a brilliant cooling strategy on a hot day, letting them press that bare belly against a nice cold surface like tile or hardwood. Okay, part four. Pack bonding and comfort. Seriously, why do they always need to be touching you? The whole idea is perfectly captured by this single thought. If you have a dog that sleeps back to back with you, or maybe draped right over your clothes, you have a cuddler. They are showing intense bonding and affection. This is actually a beautifully warm leftover instinct from their days as tiny puppies, snuggling with their littermates for warmth and survival. By seeking out that physical touch, they're basically declaring, hey, you're part of my pack, and I trust you completely. And right alongside the cuddlers, you have the burrowers. You know the type. These are the dogs that will vigorously dig at your couch cushions or insist on sleeping completely buried under pillows and blankets. They are seeking deep comfort and security. For dogs with anxiety, burrowing under a heavy blanket provides gentle pressure that works absolute wonders to calm their nervous system. It acts exactly like one of those specialized anxiety-wrapped shirts, making them feel completely enclosed and safe. Now we're at part 5, hidden warnings and rituals, when to pay attention, because some sleeping habits aren't just cute quirks, they are actually silent red flags. Remember that splooting we talked about earlier? Well, while it's perfectly normal for a playful puppy, if your older adult dog suddenly starts splooting out of nowhere, you absolutely must pay attention. It could be a sign of osteoarthritis. Senior dogs will sometimes splay their legs out like this just to relieve the pain of their joints rubbing together. If you see this sudden shift in behavior, it's a clear signal that it's time to upgrade their sleeping setup to a premium orthopedic memory foam dog bed to relieve that pressure. Now, before we look at the most critical warning sign, we just need to quickly define brachycephalic breeds. These are dogs with short noses and flat faces. Think of your pugs, bulldogs, or Boston Terriers. If you own one of these flat-faced pups, pay super close attention to this next warning sign because it deals with their specific physical challenges. If your dog, and especially a brachycephalic breed, intentionally seeks out the firm edge of a dog bed or the side of the couch to keep their head and neck propped up while they sleep, do not ignore it. A raised head and neck often indicates that your dog is actively struggling to breathe properly. This can also be an early warning sign of chronic heart disease. If you catch them sleeping like this and it's combined with noisy, fast breathing, it means it's time to call your vet immediately. Finally, let's end on a slightly lighter note by looking at the crazy pre-sleep rituals dogs have. You know, walking in tight circles, scratching, and digging frantically at their bed. This hilarious behavior was actually passed down directly from their wild wolf ancestors. Wolves would dig and trample down leaves, dirt, and snow to clear away bugs and build a perfectly comfortable warm nest. So when your dog is spinning around on the living room rug, they're really just fluffing their pillows the only way their ancient DNA knows how. As we wrap up this explainer, I want you to look over at your own furry best friend. Are they a goofy splooter, a burrower, or maybe a snowball? What is their posture telling you right this very second? The next time they close their eyes, remember, they aren't just sleeping, they're speaking to you. So are you finally ready to listen? Share what your dog is telling you in the comments below.